Alright, bit of an update. I haven't been able to train for a week because I've had a very sore rib. Maybe an intercostal tear or some type of bruised rib. Yeah, don't know if it's a cartilage injury or whatever it is, but it was bad. So last Thursday on the night session we were doing a drill where I've basically got to stand pretty still and some type of sparring drill anyway, but I've got to mostly prepare for takedowns, stop the guy coming in, not really punch him, just, you know, stop him from coming in and taking me down. Anyway, this wild, what should I call him, a renegade in the gym who's started to lose his shit, kicked me hard. You know, I'm supposed to keep my elbow down and block it, but he put a bit more into it than normal. He's been doing this actually for the last few weeks, and I noticed there was a drill where I had to have my back to the wall and he was supposed to take me down, and again I'm just supposed to stop him from coming in. So my punches aren't really supposed to go forward and hit him, they're just supposed to deter him from coming in and taking me down. Well, he didn't even try to take me down because he can't take me down. He instead just chose to take the advantage of me being on the wall, back to the wall by the way, so I can't even use any footwork to get out, and just started boxing me pretty hard. So last week he actually started wearing 4-ounce gloves instead of 8-ounce as well, which for some reason the coach allows. We don't use headgear. The other people who use 4-ounce gloves have experience. He does as well, but they generally pull their punches, which he never used to be that bad, and now all of a sudden he has stopped pulling his punches and started hitting pretty hard. And again, could be under instructions from the coach, is what I thought from a few weeks ago. But yeah, this particular time I was in the shark tank doing the drill, basically parrying, blocking, stopping someone from coming in to take me down, and they are supposed to punch their way in, kick their way in, take me down. So he's southpaw, he's come in hard right hook. I'm thinking about the 4-ounce fucking Everlast gloves that he's got on, that he said he found in the back of the garage. And yeah, kept my hands too high, worrying about them because I have a fight in a week, or at that point 2 weeks, and worrying about getting cut from these, not worried about getting punched, worried about getting cut. And yeah, then he's just, I could see his face. He made a face when he kicked me. His power kick, his left, and kicked me right in the floating rib, finished me. Didn't drop, but I was backing off, and coach yelling at me, range, range, range. So I gotta still punch and pretend it's a fight, and, you know, not show my opponent that I'm injured. But I was injured. I thought it was broken because I've broken a rib with wrestling with a mate actually about 4 years ago, and it felt the same. That was it was fractured and displaced rib. So it felt the same. I was out for the rest of the lesson. Been pretty pissed off since. Thinking back to this kid when he started actually changing and started sparring a little too hard. You know, we all throw our hands, but obviously we pull our punches when we do hit somebody, and most of us are supposed to make sure that our hands aren't going full force on someone's face. But something's changed with this kid. So anyway, I've been a bit pissed off, thinking about other times with him when it's changed. And what I've come up with is that he was part of the program, even though he's had prior experience, got a lot of experience in jiu-jitsu and a bit in kickboxing, Muay Thai, sorry. We found out he couldn't fight because he's too young. He's actually 16 turning 17, taller than me, lighter than me, so I don't have any problems with him at all generally. But yeah, his mindset's changed since he was told he couldn't fight, because he's been paying for this 20-week course thing, and then he got told when the matchmaker came down that you're too young to fight. A bit weird from the organization to not pick that up earlier, but yeah, his mindset's changed, I think. He's become now a training partner as opposed to the fighter. And of course, it's responsibilities also on the gym owner, the head coach, to make sure that the fighters are safe. So he has told these training partners to do certain things for the Shark Tank and stuff and put it on us and everything. But again, most people are pulling their punches and not trying to injure the fighters. So this is what I was thinking. I was feeling a little bit hard done by this kid, a bit pissed off, wondering how I'm going to address it. And then on top of that, we have the Saturday came around after the Thursday, and I said to another training partner, I said, "Oh, you got a black eye from the session?" He said, "No, same kid." All right, so that kid's now, giving this guy a black eye. Now this guy, wouldn't mind me saying this, but he, when we're doing the parrying drills, he's not the best at stopping the punches coming through. You're basically supposed to plant your feet and parry and block the punches and the kicks. So when I get through, I just tap him on the chin and tap him on the cheeks and, be a good training partner and sort of warn him to get his hands up. Parry, block, parry, block. If he's copping them, they're just very slow. They're not going to hurt him. They'll let him know, but they won't hurt him. He shouldn't have a full-on black eye in these drills, in my opinion. So that was concerning. I also hadn't mentioned that one of the other training partners got a broken foot from this same kid when he did that, which is fair enough. You got to think, okay, well, he's just blocked a kick, but he's gone right down on it, right? He also did that to me a few weeks ago. I had a blown up ankle, but this from the same person did that to me. So it's all starting to come together now. If you ever watch The Usual Suspects, I'm thinking like Kaiser Soze at the end when he does the walk and he starts walking normally. I'm just putting it all together. Well, the straw that broke the camel's back was then I couldn't go to the training session on the Tuesday morning. I go on Tuesday night and I see one of the training partners, the same one who had the fractured foot. He goes, "Did you hear what happened?" And I could see his face was blown up. And I said, "No." He goes, "He broke my nose." No fucking way. So apparently he punched him when he was on top of him and the coach said, "Time." Punched him, broke his nose. That was it. Then we know now, there's some rumblings in the gym, of course, that this person's, something's wrong with them. They're trying to either injure us or they're completely reckless. So either way, they shouldn't be running around with 4-ounce gloves when we have no headgear. We've never used headgear anyway with our sparring in the last 5 months, but they definitely shouldn't be running around with 4-ounce gloves because they don't know how to control themselves. So we have a situation at the moment. The coach hasn't picked it up. I keep saying it's a hard-nosed training environment. So he hasn't picked it up, and he obviously is allowing it for us to learn our lessons on, keeping our guard up or being in a position where we should always be aware that we could get punched or kicked. But yeah, I'm at that point where it's like, do I teach this person a lesson? Because I'm not going hard at all. Every punch I throw, I'll go hard in grappling. I'll get on top of somebody, that's my strength, and I'll out grapple them. And if I do punch them, it's like this, on the ground, just letting them know, a couple of persuaders is what that's it. I've never punched anyone hard. In fact, even in street fights, I've never punched anyone as hard as I can. I'm not saying the kid's punching as hard and kicking as hard as he can, but he's now injuring us. And for me, it's gone too far. So we'll see how that one plays out. I have now, it's not this Saturday, but not this Sunday, but next Sunday. So just under a week and a half to the fight. I haven't seen the kid since. Yeah, so he went to the training session and broke the other one's nose. And you haven't seen him since at the end of the other training sessions. So I don't know. Should I be having a chat to him, like my friend says? One of my friends, my good friends who's done Muay Thai for years. He said just have a chat to him. Should I be having a chat to the coach? That's what I thought. But it's very hard to have a chat to the coach. You'd hope that he would have picked it up when he was watching the person get his nose broken. And rather than blame the person whose broken nose it is, start to look at the person who's wearing 4-ounce Everlast gloves who's clearly reckless. Or should I just go a little bit harder in sparring next time I'm with him and show him, like my other friend who did boxing when he was a kid, He did that for quite a while, and he said he learned his lesson when he was 16, when he went a bit hard from somebody. So yeah, all I know is I'm pretty annoyed. I've got a very sore rib, and I have a fight coming up, and I'll be fine. I'll get through it. I don't have any problems getting through this. But yeah, very unnecessary, and it's actually the first time I've encountered something like this in sparring. So we'd be keen to hear what other people's thoughts are on this, who train obviously, and what they've encountered and how they've dealt with this situation. Cool, that's it for me. The next update will hopefully be before the fight.